You get when you combine two childhood friends who have never grown up, have an unhealthy competitive streak, and always think they're the funniest people in the room. You get the Unfunniest Podcast!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well now, we call this the act of mating.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children.
Welcome, everybody. It is May 18th. It's a Sunday, and guess what? We've made it to episode 6. So anyone that took the over under 5 podcasts that we would last, you guys have just hit, and collect your money at the booth. But welcome back, everybody. A busy week for everyone. It's getting to be spring here, but Mike, I guess you never know by the weather. And Jimmy, were you guys at the boat today?
I was not.
I was there yesterday. Lovely weather. You and your infinite wisdom decided to get on and promote the podcast this afternoon, and you said, I hope everyone's enjoying the great weather. I almost threw something at the computer. What great weather? What are you talking about? It's blowing 40 miles an hour. It's 58 degrees. It's overcast. It's misery.
No, I think
as the miserable Midwest.
Well, whatever. If you had a nice sailboat out there today, you're probably clipping along at a good rate.
I can always tell a non-boater.
What was it out there? 50s, if not lower?
It was about the same as at home, mid-50s. Yesterday, it was spitting rain. It was disgusting. I was doing my caulking on the aft section of the boat.
What color caulk did you use?
Caulking, C-A-L-U-K-I-N-G. Caulking. Right. Yes.
Before anybody starts to wonder what Mike is truly saying, especially when it comes through on the closed captioning, yes. Let's move forward.
Caulking.
It only was 84 the other day here. Weather changes. Yeah, weather changes like miserable, and it's supposed to be cold the next week or so. But
can we all draw the attention to James Ward now has a microphone?
We do, and I just want to say thank you.
What the? Oh, dude, now I have microphone envy.
Yeah, I just got done with a post-game press conference. Sorry, I was late for the pre-rehearsal get-together for this podcast here.
Dude, I have serious microphone envy. This is ridiculous.
So, started this new sport. It's called Dodge Pickle.
Dodge the pickle?
Combination of dodgeball and pickleball. The cool thing is it's dodgeball rules, but it's pickleball equipment. So you have a racket, and we actually use real pickles, and you try to hit the opposing team.
What? Do you get points about, like, if you hit them in the head, if you hit the torso, if you hit the legs? Is there different points?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's gonna be our own basketball come through. But
it's
Michael,
live. It's airing live next week.
You really do look like you're at a press conference right now.
Yeah.
Jim, what did you think about the one pickle that hit the young lady right smack dab in the middle of the forehead? What was your reaction to that? Any crowd interaction? Was any of the referees?
Mike, can you repeat that question?
Oh, my.
You know what? Okay, forget this before we get kicked off. But Mike, you said the weather sucks, but there is one thing that is hot right now in the Metro Detroit area.
What's that?
And that is the Detroit Tigers. Still,
yes,
best team in baseball. 31-16 going in. We all laughed. I talked with a bunch of different people. We all laughed in the offseason. We said, you know what? They didn't get Bregman. They didn't get this. They didn't do that. They didn't have this. They're not going to be strong enough. They're not going to have enough pitching.
They made him eat a little crow, didn't they? Sweeping the socks.
Mm-hmm.
He was quoted as saying, well, I'm pretty happy with my decision as to where I went. No regrets. Obviously, the Tigers are doing great, but I'm happy here in Boston. Okay, we'll go back to Boston with your sweep. And once again, Javi, Javier Baez with a
what about that diving catch? Forget that. Javi Baez putting his body on the line.
Yep.
It's everything. My dad talked about it again, and my dad and I have talked a couple of times. Everybody is contributing The hardest part they're going to have is when Parker Meadows comes back, when Veerling come back,
Yeah,
especially in the outfield.
They said this week he's throwing, 70, 80 feet, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
So when those guys come back, who are they going to sit down? I guess what you're going to kind of do is with Parker Meadows and Baez for a while, you're going to platoon left-righty
Baez
for a little bit.
Javier Baez.
Javier Baez, correct. Yeah, Javier Baez.
It's the best ever.
He's Javi Baez, though, the way he's playing right now with everything we've said.
Dude.
Coach Noose put up there the stats the other day of showing these last 4 years.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Incredible to see when it comes to that.
He was spot on with that. The comeback story of the year. I mean, at least so far. We'll see.
Yeah.
The season's only a quarter of the way through, so you got to be really careful.
Well,
baseball is a very funny sport.
Very true, but you stack wins. Everyone keeps talking about how you play down the stretch or how you play when it comes to. Was it Sparky always said the quarter pole was where the big one was? So after 40 games is where you could truly tell where somebody was going to be, and to that effect, let's talk about this. And I have it down here. In 1984, the Tigers started 35-5. That's about an 870 clip. They won 7 out of every 8 games in that row they won. Who's ever going to come close to that? Who's ever going to kind of do anything when it comes to that?
Well, here's the thing that you got to be concerned with if you're a Tiger fan is what Minnesota's doing. Minnesota lost today.
11 straight.
No. 13 straight.
13.
If I'm not mistaken. 13 straight. So you can tell they're starting to come into their own. The Tribe is flailing a little bit. They've lost 4 in a row. They lost again today. I believe the Reds swept them, which, of course, the battle for Ohio between the Browns and the Bengals, and obviously this time of year, baseball, between the Tribe, the Indians, Guardians.
We're just going to call them the Spiders. That's all we can call them right now.
Oh, yeah, the Cleveland Spiders. Anyways, they've lost 4 in a row, but the Minnesota's chirping. They're still 5 games back, but any team that wins 13 games in a row is usually not going to all of a sudden flounder in the middle of the season. I mean, everybody goes through streaks. Again, baseball is a funny sport, but they're in the rearview mirror, at least for now. But the Tigers are absolutely on top of baseball right now. Like you said, playing together. We've said this for the last couple of weeks. Everybody's contributing. Did Montero hit that walk-off the night after? Javier did?
I think
Javier Baez.
Well, I think you talk about that. You talk about stacking wins. You talk about getting as many as you can at any given time. I think it's 2, maybe 3 series the entire year that they've lost. They got swept by the Dodgers to start the year, so they were 0-3 right to start the year. So behind the 8 ball there, and then they lost to who was it recently? They lost to
last week.
Yeah, they
swept the Sox, but then they lost. Or I'm sorry, the series before the Red Sox, they lost. That was their first.
Was it the Angels?
Loss.
Yeah,
it was the Angels. Yeah,
it was in Anaheim, and so you all of those factors. The more you build up these wins, you stack these wins because no matter what, a win in April, a win in July is the same as a win in September and October. You got to win. You have to put up there just to keep going out as much as you can when it comes to that. But it's fun.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing too. I think some people get lost in the fact that there's 182 games in baseball.
162.
I'm sorry, 162. I'm thinking football or NHL and NBA. 162 games. So they get lost in the fact that, well, it's just one game, right? No, it's not. Because like you just said, at the end of the season, you're 1 game back, you're tied, you're 2 games back, whatever it might be. These managers are managing these games with that exact thought in their head. Every single move, every pitcher, righty on righty, left on left, whatever. Every move they make right now is to prepare themselves for the end of the season. If they are in a pennant race that's that close, then they're managing that way. And you can see it.
Yeah.
AJ Hinch does it. Every manager does. And this is what the entire point is. I still think that 162 games is too much, but that might be a discussion for another time.
Yeah, I mean, but to the owners, you get 81 home games. You're getting 20,000 fans a game, and when it comes to each one of those, in paying,
the Oakland A's. Or sorry, are they Vegas yet?
No, they're going to be in Sacramento for 3 more years. Or how about
that's right.
Tampa Bay? How about Tampa playing
They have no home.
in New York? They had their first rain out the other day in the entire history of their home games.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that, but they built Tropicana Field to the specs of being indoor, clearly. So they couldn't play. I mean, we drove by it when we were down there last month. It's incredible to see. It's amazing.
It's a nuclear reactor. That's what it looks
pretty
like.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tore that thing right off. It tore the roof right off. But obviously they couldn't make it weatherproof, I'm guessing. Clearly, that's why they're playing at the Yankees spring training facility in where again? I think it's in St. Pete.
St. Pete, yeah, it's right across the street from Raymond James Stadiums or whatever it is now, where the Buccaneers play. Yeah,
Yep.
Right on the main causeway there. No, I mean, it is what it is, but they were trying to get a new ballpark. Now the question is, are they really going to fix it, or are they?
No, they're going to fix it for. They're going to fix it for $1.6 million or whatever it is. That's the new thing. They're not going to build a new ballpark. They're going to fix it. What are they going to build it to? What kind of specs? I mean, who's to say it's not going to happen again if there's another hurricane that goes through there?
Yeah,
that's guaranteed. But
no, I mean, but it's you're down in Florida. You've got. I mean, obviously, if you're going to do something, you do what Miami did. You do what the Marlins did, having that the roof that can be opened up. Correct. So that way you can play ball when when it's a nice night out, when it's everything is not 200 degrees with 500% humidity down there.
Oh, it appears as if Coach Jim Ward has rescinded the 2 other microphones and he's gone back to the single one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to give him back.
Well,
but yeah,
that's
going to
lead
say
us
about
to
the Tigers real quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
All-Star breaks 1 month away, so hopefully they can hang on to this.
That close?
Through it. July 15th, I just looked it up.
Well, it's 2 months.
No, it's 2 months. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Holy mackerel. You just about scared me.
Yeah.
I almost went into panic mode last night
thinking
to myself that we're basically 1 month away from the summer solstice, which is the longest.
That just reiterates it's way too many games.
Yeah, exactly.
That they play. Yeah.
My thought about the summer solstice, we're 1 month away. Son of a gun. Anyways, go ahead, Miller.
We're going to have to do a couple things. You talk about summer solstice. I got to go up to Alaska one year for the summer solstice, and that was the most incredible thing, where it didn't get dark the entire night. But neither here nor there. That's another story for another day. But we're going to have to figure a time so we can get down to the ballpark. Maybe we'll do a little outing, see who wants to come out. I know they won't let us broadcast live from there because by the way, we officially got turned down for our first press passes. We got turned down by the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and we got turned down by the Detroit Grand Prix.
Son of a what?
I know.
You got names?
They did not consider us legitimate enough.
Van.
What is this?
But
amateur hour?
I know, exactly. So we're gonna have to rip everybody that doesn't give us passes. But I think let's all plan a time to go down to a game. We'll get some friends down. We'll get some people down there, and we'll have a good time. Do some filming and recording, and we can make some content. Is that what the kids say these days? Is we're going to create some content down there?
Content is key.
Yeah. As by the way, our demos. If anyone's curious, the age group, the number one age group for people listening to us right now, 45 to 55 right now is our top demographic.
Very young people, these 45 to 55.
Miller, just make sure you bring cash. We don't need Kathy calling you.
It's cashless.
Is there some
it is cashless. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, okay, let's forget that.
Let's prepaid Visa. Yeah.
Is there any reason you paid $45? Hot dog, a piece of pizza, and a pop?
I was hungry. What can I say?
I know.
Let's talk about something else that was kind of fun this last week that we have not brought up that we probably need to do. The 2025 Detroit Lions schedule came out. And are there any big surprises anymore?
They got 6 primetime games. I mean, I remember hearing this on the radio. Lions fans, get used to them not playing 1 o'clock games that much anymore. So,
Yeah, they don't have many 1 o'clock games.
There were two big times in the offseason every Detroit Lions fan always was previous to these last years always were big. Number one was our Super Bowl, which was the draft every year, because you got drafting in the first 5-10 picks. You didn't have to wait long. And then you could turn the TV off. It was never a big deal. And then when's the schedule going to come out? Because all we cared about was who we playing on Thanksgiving, because that's going to be our only game.
That was the only one. Yeah, right.
Right. It was the only time that we were going to have anything. But now, with everything that we've got, with all the different games showing up, and Lions being one of the top draws in football when it comes to people wanting to watch, it's going to be interesting this year. Yeah, it sucks having to wait until 8 o'clock at night for a game, or 7 o'clock when you're trying to go through all the games.
Yeah.
So
especially those Sunday and Monday night games.
Share your screen.
Absolutely. So that effect, we here at the Unfunniest Podcast, or UFP, as we are going to be calling it now.
It's our new acronym.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're the UFP. Yeah,
UFP?
we're not the UFC. We're the UFP. So we're going to do some Lions predictions now. We got Mark, Jimmy, and Mike's takes. We're going to go through this quickly. So Week 1, September 7th, Sunday, prime is going to be a 4 o'clock kickoff against Green Bay Packers. Jimmy and Mike, who you guys got in this game?
Go ahead, Jim.
Forward down the field.
Going to go with Lions.
Jim's
Michael?
got the Lions. Jordan Love, healthy, young, continuing to grow Green Bay Packer team. I think this is a 4 o'clock game. Yeah, not that it matters. I'm going to go with the Packers. I don't think the Lions come out with that much enthusiasm. We'll see. A little bit of a hangover, but nonetheless.
I'm going to have to go with the Lions.
Lions.
So
All right.
Only because I don't believe in Jordan. I don't believe in Love. No one believes in Love anymore. But I don't believe in Love that he took a big step back last year, and I don't think
He was
I don't
hurt.
think it's. Yeah, I think so, but
That's why I said he's healthy.
who
Anyways,
knows?
Week
All
2
right, Week 2 against the Bears.
versus the Bears.
I'm already going to say Gaga.
on
Gotcha,
Fox.
Lions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Jimmy's going with the Lions, and I am
Mike?
also going to go with the Lions. Yes.
All right.
I
Week
do not
3,
care.
Monday night,
Huh?
Baltimore, at Baltimore. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's always, the first couple of weeks of the year is always incredible.
He is
Yeah.
incredible.
I'm going to have to say this is their first loss.
All right.
Baltimore.
Michael?
I am
I'm
also
sorry.
going Baltimore. They are the epitome of the regular season best team in football, and Lamar Jackson can't win anything past the second round in the playoffs, or he
I
can't go
agree.
past the AFC Championship game. So yeah, Baltimore.
And now the antithesis of the great team during the regular season, the Browns. Who's going to be quarterbacking the Browns at this point? Is this going to be
Joe-
Shador?
Flacco.
Don't they have
Shador's
6
not good-
choices?
No,
Shador's not going to be in by this time?
No, Shador's not going to be in. Dylan Gabriel will play before Shador does. I could be proven wrong, but
All right.
that's going to be. Go ahead, Jim.
First of all, are we going this game?
I am actively looking at going to this game.
All right. Lions win.
My good buddy, my good friend Chris Hammond is already going to the game. I believe he is going to be in the suite. Son of a gun. I am also going to go with, as much as this pains me to say, over my Browns, the Lions.
Are you wearing your Kozar jersey if you go?
What?
Of course,
You
of
wearing
course he
your
will.
Kozar jersey if you
Oh,
go?
of course I'm going to wear my Kozar jersey. Are you kidding me? Did I tell you guys I follow Bernie now on the Instagerm? Or not? Is it
Instagerm.
the Facebook? Yeah.
He's just
He
called
tells
the
me
Facebook.
every day. Bernie looks in the camera every day and he talks right to me and he says, "You matter." I'm like, yes, that's right. The big 1-9. We all matter.
That's funny.
Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
I got friends that call it spy book.
All right.
Week
We're gonna talk
5,
week
Sunday,
5.
October 5th.
At the Bungles.
Yes.
This one's gonna be a tough one. What are the Bengals going to do after a really sub-poor year last year with everything?
Well, look
Yeah.
at the Bengals every single year for the past 3 years, or at least 3 out of the 4 past years. They started 0-3, 0-4. Then they come roaring back, just like they did last year, only to come up short and not make the playoffs. So, are they going to do the same thing again? Do they start slow? Burrow is back. He's healthy, similar to the Jordan Love situation. I think if Burrow is healthy, I don't see them stumbling out of the gate. I am going to put this as a Bengals win.
Nice. James.
Yeah, Burrow's always off to a slow start. So that's the fifth game.
Fifth game.
I'm going to take the Lions.
Ah.
I think
Homer.
he's mediocre at this point.
I'm going to take Cincy only because it's going to be in Cincy, and it's going to be high-powered offense. Everything they've got there. I just learned it. Look at these 3 straight weeks.
Dude, this
at
is
Cincinnati, at Kansas City, and home to Buffalo.
They have the toughest schedule in the NFL. The Lions do. Period. End of story. Mic drop. They just do.
I will say I think that they're going to bounce
Miller
back,
is
and they're
going-
going to beat Kansas City.
Yeah, I actually this is also one of my picks. I do believe that they are going to beat Kansas City.
Okay.
I think they go in. I think they manhandle Mahomes. I think they put pressure on him. I think you got to look at this too, right? By week 6, Hutch should be back. Who knows if he's in full form yet? But 6 weeks in, if Hutch if he's back and he's back to his normal self, if they can pursue Mahomes, if they can put pressure on Mahomes, I think they win this game. I think that's why they win this game.
Yeah.
So when you say he's back, I mean, he's on pace to go week 1, isn't he?
Yeah, see, there's been some talk about that he may not be ready for week 1. I read that not this past week, it was the week before. So there's still some question about him. I don't know if he's had a setback. I haven't necessarily read into it too much, but that's why I said if he is not full strength those first couple of games, that's another reason that I was picking that's another reason I went with the Packers over the Lions in week 1, just because of that fact. So we'll see.
That's true.
I'm going to go with KC just for the fact that they're at home.
Okay.
Whoa! Jim just picked against the Lions.
All right. So now we're going to go into a primetime Monday night game against
Full
Buffalo.
revenge mode.
Field will be rocking.
I got to go with the Lions here only because I think that it's going to be that revenge game from last year.
Yep.
I think you're going to see I think a new, a team that's going to have to become for them. And the Lions should have won that game last year when they played, but it's, it was a couple bad mistakes by Goff, and that's what it turned into.
Yeah.
Jimmy, who you got?
Put me down for.
I too am going with the Lions.
Oh.
This is this is a revenge game. This is the kind of game that sticks in those players' heads from this past year when they ran up and down the field as much as they did. And I do think that they definitely win this game. Yeah. Week 8, the bye week. Jim, never mind.
I don't think they could. And you know what? Could a bye week come at a better time after that stretch of those 3?
After that gauntlet. So again,
exactly.
Unfortunately for me, okay, they're at home versus the Browns, but then look at that. At Cincy, at the Chiefs, and then home versus the Bills. That's a pretty staunch part of the schedule right there in and of itself. We'll get to the rest of it in a minute.
You might have some guys beat up pretty badly too.
Yeah, great spot for a bye week as opposed to this past year when it was after week 4.
Yeah.
Which was brutal because then you got the rest of the stretch schedule to go.
And it's funny, Elvis doing these picks right now, none of us have any clue what these teams are truly going to be like, because think about the Commanders last year. How many people really would have thought the Commanders would have done anything they did? How many other people thought, after the way the Eagles ended the previous year and how bad they looked early in the season, that they could have done anything? So it's a crapshoot. And now we're going to talk about the Jets. Are the Jets
Week 9 versus the New York Jets?
I gotta go with the Lions only because it's going to be at home. I think that Aaron Glenn's going to have them playing better, and they don't have that albatross of Aaron Rodgers over their shoulder. But I think that it's still going to be tough. But Aaron Glenn's going to have a team playing, but I still think the Lions are going to be better.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here real quick, and I'm going to give you what my prediction is with the New York Jets and your aforementioned Aaron Glenn. I do believe that he will be either fired or fired after this game. I like Aaron Glenn. I think he was a decent defensive coordinator.
You've never liked Aaron Glenn.
No, that's true. I've never liked Aaron Glenn. I don't like Aaron Glenn. I don't see him lasting, period. End of story. I think this is a rout. I think they're going to blow the Jets out of the building. This is the Lions all the way. And again, I think that I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying that they fire Aaron Glenn after this game. Jim?
I would agree. Not maybe not being fired, but yeah, I'll take the Lions. I think
you're coming
with
me on that one.
I think Aaron Glenn's gonna overlook this game, and I think the Lions are he's gonna try to get pretty clever on defense, and I think the Lions are just gonna come up with remarkable plays just to mess with their defense. So,
all right, now at the Commies on the 9th, Michael.
The Commies at the Commanders, Sunday, November 9th. That's a primetime game, is it not?
No, I think it'll be either a 1 o'clock or 4:30.
Game. Okay. I am going with the Lions. I'm going another. Remember this in the back of your minds, and I believe this is another revenge game where the Lions look at it and go, "Okay, we're out to prove that playoff game was not a fluke per se, but not indicative of us."
That was an ugly game.
Very. Yeah, Jimmy.
Give me the Lions.
And I also think the Lions. Only because
you're in my section, Miller.
Yeah, I changed it. Don't worry. All right, so we're going to go now. Jimmy, you're going to pick here first, where it's going to be a Sunday night football game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles.
God, this is a tough one.
Super Bowl hangover or not?
Probably, but early in the season. Give me Philly, unfortunately.
Ooh. All right. I am. My heart says it's going to be Philly because that's what my as a Lions fan says. But you know what? I think if the Lions had played Philly last year, it would not have even been close. They would have beat Philly.
Yeah.
I'm actually the opposite. I think if the Lions would have played the Eagles, I think they would have got throttled. I think they would. I don't even think it would have been. Well, I shouldn't say I don't think it would have been close. I think the Eagles would have beat them handedly. Mm-hmm. That being said, I do think that there is a Super Bowl hangover here. I really do. I think the Eagles fall back into what they did 2 years ago. Obviously, they didn't win the Super Bowl. They were in the Super Bowl, and the following year, they had that layoff. So I do think that the Eagles are going to be stumbling, and I'm going to go with the Lions at the Eagles.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm going with the Lions.
Michael. Wow.
Shocking.
I know. Now,
do
we even need
to? I have more losses than you guys do. What's going on here?
The season's not over yet, Jimmy. Giants, do we even need to make we know what's going to happen here, right?
Across the board.
Yeah.
Lions.
All right. Now comes
Thanksgiving.
How many years have they played? Is it the only team the Lions play on Thanksgiving now, or is it going to be someone from the NFC Central? Because it's been Minnesota, Green Bay, or the Bears. It seems like every year.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they played the Bills 2 years ago, right?
No.
Yeah, the Bills. The Bills were on Thanksgiving. They lost. It was a heck of a game. They're back and forth, but the Bills came out in the end. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. But you're right, though. I think it feels like it's either the Bears or the Packers.
And please note, everybody, it is a 1 p.m. kickoff this year and not a 12:30. And I don't know why. It was nice having it 12:30 because then you had a gap between those games. You weren't like overlapping.
Yeah. What are we going to do when everybody wants to eat dinner at 4:00, which is usually a tradition on Thanksgiving?
I think it has to do with the parade. I mean, I don't know if you guys typically we go every year, and it's a mess because they got to bring in DTE, put all the traffic lights back up.
But a half hour's not going to make that much.
Everybody's late to the game.
Miller, I'm really disappointed. I thought for sure that you would know the reason why they changed it from 12:30 to 1:00. I'm flabbergasted that you don't know.
I'm going to guess
that's what I'm assuming.
I'm going to guess the West Coast. That's my guess, but I blame everything on the West Coast.
Who
Probably
cares about the West Coast?
I think with this game, the Lions had too much turkey. Didn't have too much turkey.
Man, that surprises me.
I hate the Packers more than anything. Were you there the one year that I got in a fight the night before Thanksgiving with some guy in a Brett Favre jersey and I shoved him at the post? Oh, yeah, that was a fun night. But that's different.
You sure you weren't dreaming?
No, I remember taking a punch. Jimmy, who you got? Packers
so I'm
or the
go
Lions?
Opposite. I don't think they had enough turkey, and they're going to blow them out so that they can get to the turkey.
Yeah, so I picked the Packers week 1, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a game that the Lions come home on Thanksgiving, and I think that they win this game. It'll be tight, but I do think the Lions win, yes.
Okay. All right. So now let's go to our. They go back-to-back Thursday games,
The big sombrero.
but it's going to be home. They're not going to be at the Big Sombrero.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah,
I wish
I'm
it was
sorry.
the Big
I thought-
Sombrero.
Yeah.
Who's got Prime?
But we all got Prime sometime. And who doesn't have who is on Prime right now?
The evil Amazon. Yes.
I got to
ahead.
go with the Lions here because I don't believe in Baker.
I said the same thing when he was in
He had some good games last year, but I'll
Okay.
take the Lions here.
Michael?
I'm going to go with the Bucks. I do believe in Baker. I do believe I think that just like they did this past year, they came into Ford Field, they won. They always play the Lions tough. I think this is a little bit of a hangover from the Packers game on Thanksgiving. I get it; it's still 7 days, but I do believe that Baker and the Bucks come into Ford Field and win that game.
Okay. Got the last four down now. Jimmy, your LA Rams with Stafford.
Stafford. This is a tough one because they're still a good team. It's at
Yeah.
home for LA, but I don't think any game at home is at home for LA.
Amen.
No.
God, I know Stafford wants to beat the Lions so bad, but
He's
think
what,
they're gonna
0-3
fall short.
against them now?
huh?
He's 0-3 against them right now, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
beating
God,
them.
he plays unbelievable against them too. It's crazy.
He does. I mean, he's still top notch. He really is.
They're going to lose a couple games that we don't anticipate,
Yeah.
and there's going to win games we don't anticipate.
I don't know, man. I mean, Lions fans are going to travel for this.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know?
it's going to be in celebration of my birthday on the 12th, so yeah.
Oh, beautiful. But yeah, give me the
you're gonna be
Lions.
60.
I think the Lions will pull this one off.
Mike,
I'm going with the Rams. I do believe that this is the one that Stafford pulls out. I believe that this is a revenge factor for him, and he is. Yeah, I think he is 0-3 versus the Lions. I think they're primed to have a pretty doggone good season. I think this is Stafford and the Rams on this one.
yeah. You know what? I just thought about something here. This can't be Minnesota. They can't be playing Minnesota back-to-back games. Where's our schedule mixed up?
That is mixed up. I don't remember
Yes.
seeing that.
So week 9, we're going to have to go back here. So let's go through. Give me a second here, people. Okay.
Epic fail, Miller.
Sorry.
Bears,
See yourself out.
Baltimore, Browns, Bengals. Okay, so this right here, somehow
Which
they
one?
messed me up here. The week 7 is actually
Week
The
7
Bucks.
is the.
week 7 is the Bucks.
How did we mess this up?
I don't know.
That's it.
That's
Get out.
we're messed up. Okay, so it's going to be home against the Bucks. You guys still staying with your picks from there, so we're going to go
Which in what week? What?
this Tampa Bay game here. So Michael, you have Tampa Bay here,
I do.
and Lions. All right, so let's get rid of these here. Sorry, folks that are paying attention here. Week 9.
No one's paying attention to you.
Exactly. Week 9 is Minnesota. And this is going to be home against Minnesota. Week 9. Let's go back here. Forget this one. Who you got here?
Go ahead, Jim.
Lions.
I've got the Lions as well.
I also have the Lions. I think J.J. McCarthy will struggle in his first year as a rookie, coming back from an injury and walking into Ford Field, the Lions' den, where it'll be obviously raucous, loud, and I think he'll struggle. So I'm going with Lions
All right.
there.
So we got Washington, then we got the Eagles, and then week 13. Hold on here. Let me see here. The Giants, week 12. And then the Packers. And then week 14 is actually, that is going to be, that was going to be the Cowboys at Ford Field. I don't know where I got this schedule from, folks.
It's about time they play the Cowboys at home. I feel like they're always playing at AT&T Stadium.
All right, so let me go here. I am going to
say,
say
this happen?
I got a bad schedule here. All right, so Jimmy against the Cowboys at home.
Lions.
Michael.
Lions at home.
Destroy them again like they did last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that blowout. Well, see, that might be a trap game, though, too. Because there again, if you remember this last year after the Cowboys game and how they talked about, I mean, I get it. It's a whole new staff, different players, everything else. But they talked about how that they really felt that the Lions were running it up, which always drives me crazy. It's like, okay, you are an NFL.
Paid millions of dollars. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. You're an NFL franchise.
Happy birthday.
If you don't like it, tough. Sorry, play better. Prevent the other team from running it up on you.
There was a quote from when I was at Western, Gary Darnell, our head coach. And Central went into Florida and got just boat raced against University of Florida down at the Swamp. And they said, well, how, do you think that Florida ran the score up? Do you think they should have kept it down? He goes, it wasn't Florida's job to keep the score down. It was Central's job to keep the score down.
You got it.
That's whose job it was. So we're back on track now. We're going to have home against the Steelers. I am going to pick the Lions for the simple fact of the matter is who's going to be quarterbacking the Steelers at that point.
Yep.
Jimmy.
Lions.
Michael.
I'm also going to go with the Leos against the Steelers.
All right. And then we've got Mike's favorite time of the year, a Christmas Day game, the primetime game on Netflix. On Thursday, December 25th, just to destroy the NBA.
Oh.
I am going to go.
Whoa! Miller. Jim?
First of all, I don't agree with this. Let them be at home with their families. But
agreed. I mean, it's
ridiculous.
It's a Thursday, so I guess I understand it. But that garbage of playing on Christmas Day this past year, because on a Wednesday. Come on, really? Do we need?
I mean, most of these guys have kids. Like, come on.
Yeah. Not only that, which I agree with, but not only that, where are we going with overboard on the NFL? Right? Overboard on too much. Let's go back to. Okay, I guess throw the Thursday night in there, but Sunday night, and Monday night, right? It doesn't need to be played 7 days a week. It's going to get watered down at some point. You think that they would be having meetings talking about this stuff. Well, do we really want to play every single night of the week? Because I feel like that's where we're going. I could be way off on that, but in Christmas Day, sorry, I don't need the NFL on Christmas Day. I just don't.
Yeah. And they'll get good ratings for it because everybody's going to have it on, but it's going to be in the background.
Yeah.
What time's that game?
So, 4:25.
Yeah. Yeah, right in the middle of Christmas dinner. Brilliant.
Right. Enough time to take a nap. So who you got?
I heard somebody the other day. I got the Lions.
All right. Jimmy.
Lions.
All right. The last game going to be the Ben Johnson special. When it comes down to it, that last game of the year. I'm going Chicago. Last game of the year.
You're taking the Bears?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I think that Ben Johnson's going to come up with a Christmas miracle week late.
What, bring in Jim McMahon?
That's going to be what, New Year's Day? Yeah, whatever it is. Could be the Babe Laufenberg, the Babe's curtain call.
Babe Laufenberg. Fridge Perry.
Jimmy.
So, other than at Washington, it looks like they only have potentially 2 cold games, which they've been known for or talked about not playing good in cold weather. But we're talking Chicago here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Lions.
All right.
Might
And
just
Michael?
run the ball the whole game.
I actually think Caleb Williams in his second year is has some pretty good advancement.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Ben Johnson, I think that's a match made in heaven. I think Ben Johnson's going to get the absolute most out of Caleb Williams. Last game of the year, I think there's a playoff berth on the line for the Bears. I think they are going to win that game. I'll take the Bears.
All right. So from my quick calculations, even though I was wrong at it, we've got Michael with the Lions going 11-6, me
Yep,
with the Lions
exactly.
going 11-6, and Jimmy 14-3.
Whoa,
We've got
man!
Oh, you guys caught up.
so
Yeah.
So I think we're going to put that out there. We're going to have this out so everyone can see, and we're going to go week by week during the season and see where we've gone with all of that. But
Yeah,
I
so
think
get down there, and I'm sure Mark will put up the poll as to what
Yeah.
they feel the Lions are going to be.
Damn, 14.
Who do you
what was I thinking?
Who do you like? Whose picks do you like? Mike and Mark's or Jimmy's? I think we're going to go with that. But let's talk about. We spent a lot of time on this, but let's talk about one of the other best teams in football, the Michigan Panthers, who we now are official credential
Forward down
media.
Wait, the Panthers. Sorry.
Yeah, the Panthers are on the prowl. First down,
On
Michigan
the
Panthers.
prowl.
They won this past week to be able to clinch their playoff spot. Even though Bryce Perkins was out with a messed up ankle, they still came through. They still were able to run the ball. They still were able to do what they needed to do and win the game. I think it's kind of cool, but the problem they've got right now, two of the teams in this USFL division, however they're dealing with this, the Detroit, the Michigan Panthers, and the DC Defenders. Both of those two, if they went to their prospective championship games before the head game, both of them can't use their stadiums. I think it's the weekend of June 8th because the Lions at Ford Field have a Kendrick Lamar concert, and they need 2 or 3 days to prepare the field and prepare the stage for this Kendrick Lamar concert. And the DC team can't use it because of the soccer team that plays there. So both of them are out. So they now had to schedule. It's going to be in Birmingham, Alabama, whoever plays in that division for the championship to see who goes to that championship game. And so they had to do it for the other division. The other division is going to be playing in St. Louis. So I think it's messed up that, number one, I personally, after we were there, I don't think that the Panthers should be playing in Ford Field. Ford Field is too big for them. I think you need to me, Keyworth Stadium would be the perfect spot for them. Even Ryerson Stadium, where Eastern plays, is too big.
Weisner.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
was the first one you mentioned.
The stadium.
Yeah.
Keyworth. Yeah. Keyworth. They just spent millions.
Hamtramck.
Yeah, they spent millions. The DCFC spent millions transforming it.
You want me to bring up the videos of?
What about Wayne State? How much does Wayne State hold?
I don't think it's even so much that. I think it's Keyworth Stadium is actually a nicer stadium than what
Train tracks going in the south end of the field.
Exactly. I mean, Mike and I played there, so I mean, obviously, it's a great importance to us and everyone in the Catholic League. But I think, and also there's discussions because as a side topic, DCFC just got approved, and they're going to be building a new stadium, probably about a 7,000-8,000 seat stadium, and wherever they're going to build it, to me, that's absolutely perfect. Where they can share
opening the blinds.
Yeah, they could kind of share that with them. But to that effect, let's forget that. March 30 or May 31st, Saturday afternoon. It's also the weekend of the Grand Prix downtown. Your Unfunniest Podcast host will be back at Ford Field covering this game, and Jim will be there with us. Right. So we're going to see if we can do some type of live broadcast before the game, some type of pregame for that.
They better have
food.
Sure. Free food.
They better have food there. Yeah, I'm not paying $40 for pizza again.
Like I said last time, I'll leave.
So we know that I know a couple people will be there. Hopefully we can get some people, some of our fans there and anyone else there to kind of go through it. But May 31st, we're going to put more information out. We'd love to see who can come down. We're going to try to go out before the game and do some broadcasting to kind of see there. But we've got other playoffs going on right now too. NBA, between the two of you, how many of you guys are watching NBA or how many are watching NHL playoffs?
Both, more than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been watching NHL, not so much the NBA.
Game 7 tonight.
I mean, I watched the Warriors lose, but
I tell you what, the Knicks, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, I thought they had nothing, and I thought it was a joke about Detroit, but Detroit played them harder than the Celtics did.
Absolutely, they did.
And they
won Game 6 by 44 points or 42 points.
Yeah.
Same thing, Game 7 tonight, or this afternoon, between OKC and Denver.
A 30-point blowout. Yeah.
30-point blowout. What these games are it's incredible to me. I mean, like you just said, the Pistons and the Knicks series was close. Every single game was close. There wasn't one single blowout. That's good basketball. These blowouts that are happening right now, it's bad for viewing. I mean, I obviously I didn't watch this afternoon's game, but the game the other night between the Knicks and the Celtics, I turned it on for 2 seconds. That was it. I'm like, then they were up by 48 at that point. I think it was close to 50 points. So sorry.
I don't understand. You know what that does tell me though, when it comes to everything, the Pistons are not that far off. The Pistons,
no, they're not. They're definitely close.
Yeah,
They
said 1 or 2 moves, and they're right there.
Well, and they got Ivy back next year. Ivy wasn't in at all the second half of the season.
Are they going to go after? Are they going to have to go after the Greek freak, the freak Greek? What do they call him?
The Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis.
Don't know where he would fit. He wants his team.
Fit.
Cade Cunningham. I'd rather have Cade Cunningham than
yeah, but they're
Giannis
two different.
Right
they're two totally different players.
Yeah.
They're not. They complement each other. It's not a one or the other. It's. I mean, you got Giannis in the post basically. His percentage of scoring in the low post ranks up amongst the top in NBA history. His shooting percentage is unbelievable. Well, that's what they call him, the freak.
Yeah.
You bring him in, I don't care where you need to put him. Find a spot for him.
And he doesn't play that post. He doesn't play the perimeter game like anyone, especially all the big guys are playing right now.
Right.
There was even talk of Kevin Durant.
I
don't know
know
if that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Durant's he's obviously up there in age.
He's
and
30, like that.
30,
now
38.
Who was it? Booker who's also from the Detroit area. Yeah, Devin Booker. I'd have him in a heartbeat in the Pistons. He still lives in this area. He's always here.
Yep.
So now let's talk about hockey, because my favorite team to get blown out all the time blew a massive lead. The Maple Leafs playing the gritty Stanley Cup champions. I'm looking right now into the first period, 0-0, Florida Panthers and the Maple Leafs. I can't stand the Maple Leafs. Always hated the Maple Leafs. And I don't want to see them ever succeed.
I will say this: I was pretty surprised. I really did think that Florida was going to win on Friday night. I thought they were going to go back home, raucous atmosphere, and it was a 0-0 game going into the third period. And what's his name? Austin Matthews, 5-hole, scored halfway through the third period. That was it.
Yeah,
they added on a second goal to make it 2-0. But that. I don't know. Game 7s are a toss-up. It's weird in the NHL, too, how Game 7s, the road team wins, usually.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 0-0 game right now, going into the second period, favors the Panthers, because I think that there's such tightness amongst both the Leafs and their fans based on their history. Because, yes, they haven't made it out of the second round in how many years? And they haven't been to the Cup since 68, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
I don't like the Maple Leafs either, but I do feel for their fans because they, like you said, they haven't been there in years.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's been crazy, but it is time for something right now.
Hold on.
We've waited. What's that?
We got one.
No, go ahead.
We've waited long enough. It's now 50 minutes into this broadcast, and if I can have your attention to kind of be quiet real quick.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Mike's Rant of the Week. And now, here is Mike with his rant.
There we go again with Kathy and her spectacular introduction That was
job, Kathy.
amazing. Huh? Yeah. Great job, Kathy.
What do you
get
got
her
this
on,
week, Mike?
Did you get her on her voiceover? No, not yet.
We're working on it, yeah.
My rant this week, once again, harkens back to... Oh, hold on. Can I have a follow-up really quick? I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
Let me just show everyone real quick. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to Facebook. And we're going to share
Out of my
the screen.
face, or I'm going to roundhouse your ass.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So this was me today at the Meijer store.
Meijer Thrifty
Rewind.
Acres, for those not in
Yeah.
the Metro Detroit area.
Okay, so there is some idiot that put their cart in front of my car. I am 3 spaces away from the cart corral. So I decided to take a video of how long it would have taken this person to take that cart over into the cart corral. So let's watch this.
Here we go.
According to the timing, it's
That
25
My
seconds.
car. There's the cart return. Ready?
There's the
100,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 seconds.
But no, 11. You got to count going back to your car.
3
Get out of here.
That's twice the amount of time.
Are you kidding me? 10 seconds. This Neanderthal can't. And then to top it off, it was near my vehicle. What if it was windy? It would have gone into the quarter panel of my car. So that was the follow-up from last week's rant. This week's rant actually kind of goes right along the same lines of being at a grocery store. So I'm going to preface this by saying that the automatic pickup for those that are disabled, for those that pregnant women, the elderly,
Not pregnant, by the way.
handicapped. What?
I'm not pregnant. It's still low gut, but that's okay.
Yeah, right. Women with children. It's very convenient to be able to pull up your car, pull into a parking space, and to have people bring your groceries out. I understand, right? Again, elderly, handicapped, pregnant women, women with kids. It's awesome.
Mhm.
If I see one more single fit male individual that pulls up to by himself, sitting there on the stupid phone while people load groceries into your car, get out of your car and walk into the grocery store. Be like every other red-blooded American man. Get out of your vehicle, go inside, pick up your groceries, be like me. I'm in and out. I can be in and out of a grocery store, I swear to God, in 5 minutes flat. Nothing delays me, right? But it drives me crazy. And then the best part, though, is when and we used to go to the Kroger, and I'd be getting fuel, and the pickup area was right in front of the fuel station, right?
Mhm.
There'd be a line 5, 6, 7 cars deep. I would go in, get my groceries, come back out, go by the fuel service station again, and those idiots will still be sitting there. It's like, why don't you just get out of your car and go inside? So that is my rant of the week.
You know what? I will say one thing about your rant of the week that I do agree with. When I pick up groceries, or especially like it's whatever we're busy, I get out and help the people. I can't understand the people that sit there and just tell them to put the groceries back in the car. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Breaking
Too
news.
high. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
What's that?
Free exercise as well. Kroger just announced.
Yeah, right. Exactly. How lazy can you be? It's the same thing with the cart people. Put your cart back.
Yep.
You heathens.
All right, we're going to put a poll out there. Do you agree that only unable-bodied people and elderly should be using the
Handicapped, elderly, pregnant women, women with 5 kids in the car? It makes it very difficult. That is absolutely a necessity. I agree with that service, and the people that provide that service are phenomenal. They're friendly usually, from what I can see. I've never had it done, but yes, single people, get out of your car. Stop being lazy. Get some exercise. And put your cart back.
As Mike is telling everyone to get healthy again. Jimmy, you're a little younger than us. Mike and I are old now at 50, and we were 80s children. There's certain things about the 80s that bring up nostalgia for Mike and I, and definitely not sitting on our phones waiting for groceries to be brought in, but Trapper Keepers.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Wrapping your school books in the paper bags you used to get at grocery stores every year.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
have to
that
put
was
your
intense.
school books in there. Transformers. The G.I. Joe aircraft carrier I got when I turned 10 years old. Those kind of things are just amazing. And Mike, you came up with some type of video and you got excited about that when it came through, but I want to see this,
Check this out.
some of these awesome videos.
Can you guys see this?
Nope, you got to share your entire screen.
Oh, for the love of everything that is holy, Miller.
Yeah,
Hold
when
on.
you show,
Maximize it, Michael.
I did. Hang on.
so share and then share the far right entire screen.
I know. Hold on. There
And-
we go.
Mike finally got a second screen and now has two monitors, so he's extremely happy about that.
Exactly. Oh, did it again. Son of a gun. This is preposterous. Here we go. Now we got it. You see it now?
Oh my goodness, the Atari.
Look at that. Look at the Atari Pitfall. Can you believe it?
Remember
Yes.
that? Oh my God. No,
That's
stop,
before
push,
my time.
push stop. What about that alarm clock on top? I think I still have one.
Yes. There it is.
Everyone had that alarm clock.
Look at the VHF tape says. Saturday morning of 86.
My God.
I know. You're right
You
about
had an
the
alarm clock like that.
huh?
You had an alarm clock.
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Everyone
They
did.
definitely did.
Yeah.
They must have sold 5 billion of those things because everyone in the world had one of those.
Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. I'm going to go back. I got to share my screen again. This is very cumbersome.
We're going to edit this out in post. Don't worry, people.
Check this out. Yeah. look at
Donkey
this
Kong
one. Donkey Kong, baby.
and
Look at
television.
Optimus Prime is on that.
Oh,
He-Man and the
He-Man?
Masters of the
a
Universe.
Polaroid. How about this? Remember when you used to have every one of those art Zaxxon? You used to have to take and blow in the to make sure the dust was out before you put those in.
Yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
had to do that with the original Nintendo
Yeah.
and Sega.
Burger
Genesis.
time. Oh, yep. You had to put the burgers together. My goodness. Now, Galaga, if anybody, I'm putting it out there, anybody has one of the Galaga / Miss Pac-Man
VHF
sit-down
tape.
games, VHS tapes.
Look at
Any
that. You know, that's funny. We had a Betamax before we had actually, my dad, for some reason, wanted a Beta. He wanted Sony. He loved Sony. So he had to have a Beta. And I always felt so far out of the realm of things. Everybody else had these big VHS tapes. And we had the Beta tapes, those little small ones. I'm like,
Oh my God, Big Bob.
yeah, Big Bob is right.
Too nuts. Those are those 80s flashbacks, but the going to the Pizza Hut, playing the Miss Pac-Man and Galaga, where you sit down and you got the table going back. There's the Trapper.
There's your Trapper Keeper, Miller.
Mad Balls. There was the Mad
Wacky
Balls.
Wall Walker. Jimmy, do you remember those? You throw them against the wall.
Slimer. Mr.
Yeah.
T. My God.
Snoopy Snow Cone Maker.
I think we all got cancer from that. Speaking
Speaking of
spells,
Pizza Hut, they need to bring back the lunch buffet.
they do. Cece's Pizza was great. From Garbage Pail Kids, Scratch and Sniff stickers, the Oregon Trail, everyone died of dysentery.
Who had a Trapper Keeper?
Who didn't? Remember the
I got a
Mad
new
Balls
one
right
here.
below there?
Hey, do you guys listen? Does anybody listen to 100.3 on a Sunday
really.
morning? They have
No.
the American Top 40
The original ones with
countdown.
Casey?
Yes,
Kasem?
the original one. With Casey Kasem. It's crazy. Now, I will say this: like the last 2 weeks, they've had it from like 1981 and 1983.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna go on my soapbox. I don't consider from 80 to 84 to be 80s music. Don't ask me why. I just remember the old soft rock that my mom used to listen to and used to
The
drive
new
me
wave.
crazy. I hated that music. Yeah. So like 84 and up. Here we go. Back to the 80s. Look at these. These videos are great. They pop up on my Facebook feed now, and I just go crazy. I'm like, oh,
We're going to have to do some reviews and rewatch some of these movies and watch alongs because, Donger Need Food, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club,
hold on.
16 Weird
Hold
Science.
on. All right. Hold on. We got to watch this video together really quick. Hold on. Let me share my screen.
All right.
This one is the best ever. I promise it's going to be quick. Check this out.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck,
Yes.
the wart.
Great movie.
Not her wart. Not her wart. I'm the wart. She's my tumor. My growth. Yeah, my pimple. I'm Uncle Wart. Just old fuck Wart Russell. That's what they call me. Or melanoma head. Call me that. Melanoma head. Maisie Russell's uncle. I'm her uncle. Her mother set up this conference with you.
I'm assistant principal here, as you've probably noticed from the indications on the door.
Oh, yes.
This door?
The outer door.
The outer door.
Check this part. Check this next part coming up. Watch
That's
this.
just about enough of that.
Sorry.
This is when Hoppy and I used to go
I've
crazy.
been an educator
Here's a
for
nickel.
31.3 years, and in that time, I've seen a lot of bad eggs. I say eggs because at the elementary level, we are not dealing with fully developed individuals. I see a bad egg when I look at your niece. She is a twiddler, a dreamer, a silly heart. She's a jabberbox. And frankly, I don't think she takes a thing in her life or her career as a student seriously.
She's only 6.
That is not a valid excuse. I hear that every day, and
Look at the kid.
I don't think I want to know a 6-year-old who isn't a dreamer or a silly heart. And I sure don't want to know one who takes their student career seriously. I don't have a college degree. I don't even have a job.
Does anyone have a special story to tell a class about something that happened this week?
Watch this.
Maisie.
My uncle was microwaving my socks and a dog threw up on the couch for about an hour.
Honest?
Yes.
Why was your uncle microwaving your socks?
Can't get the goddamn washing machine to work.
Because they're all good kids. Until dried out, brain-dead skags like you drag them down and convince them they're no good. You so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in this school, and I hear about it, and I'm coming looking for you. Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rap gnaw that thing off your face.
Good old John Candy.
It's
man.
not great. Another
John
one we lost
Candy.
way too soon.
He was awesome.
Giant Candy was amazing, but
Oh,
we're
man.
running a little long right now. We're going to have to table some discussions about Mike's favorite OSU, Big Noon, and Meyering. But let's harken back to this discussion. Who do you believe? Are you with Ward or are you with Miller? Can Miller wash a car? Can Miller actually physically wash a car? How long is it going to take? We're going to have a little competition here coming up. Once we know the weather is going to be good, and we're going to video this. I'm going to take a car. I'm going to wash my car, and we're going to video it to show people that I know how to clean a car, and I can take care of this. So we're going to do this. What I'm going to have
do a competition with me on vehicle detailing. Yes.
No, we can't do that. But we're going to have a competition. What are we going to judge? How are we going to judge this? Because I'm going to prove that I can do this. I'm going to prove that I'm a man and I can do this. And I'm 40, I'm 50, and I can do this. I can.
Where
wash
are you
my
doing
car.
this? In the driveway?
I don't know. We might go down to Metro Beach. I don't know. We're going to go somewhere. Let's figure this out because, yes, we need to have some audience. We need to have people cheering me on. And we're going to do this because one of the other things that I want to talk about is we all are a little overconfident with some of our skills in some of the other areas. So over these next summer months, we're going to have some competitions with the three of us. And we're going to see if we can truly compete. Like maybe we should send you guys, we should all go to like a kids fencing class and see if we can beat kids at fencing. Something like that. We can, you know, I joked about it. Mike, Shane, and Jimmy could take on the U.S. ping pong team and probably beat them in Mike's basement. So let's think of some of these. Let's challenge us. Let's challenge the Unfunniest Podcast. What could we do and what can we do and how could we
challenge
do it better?
the Unfunniest Podcast fans to come up with ideas.
I challenge the UFP. Let's challenge the UFP of what we can do.
I think Mike and I can put our minds together and find a good spot to do this car wash.
I think so.
You know, I think we could definitely get a good crowd. Maybe let's do a barbecue.
Mark, you got a haircut this past week, and there was an unsanctioned event that went on the UFP site.
So,
but nonetheless, I give you credit. Go ahead, you do your plug.
Thank you guys to Big Al's Barbershop on Harper and Clinton Township in between Quinn and 15 Mile. They do a great job there. Mark gave me my haircut, all the rest of the guys there. Thank you guys. It's a great place to go into, a great business, local guys, and
they can cut that mop. They can cut anybody's mop.
Exactly. They used a weed whacker. He used a weed whacker on it at first, and it worked pretty good. So
hedge trimmer.
Big Al.
Big Al. So let's do that. But I think as we run down today, I think we did another good episode here. We need to keep coming up with some more stuff.
What's everybody got coming up this week?
I am going to be in the great state of Indiana all week. I go to Fort Wayne on Tuesday, and I will be in Indianapolis on Wednesday and Thursday, and I will be in South Bend on Friday. How about you guys?
Jim?
I have left my schedule open on purpose to do nothing, so hopefully the weather's nice and we'll be at the marina all weekend.
Oh yeah, Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, I got a pretty packed week, obviously, with Memorial Day coming up. The unofficial kickoff to boating for the entire boating community, our industry. Most of my accounts are going to be in crazy launch mode, trying to get boats in the water before this epic kickoff of a weekend, which is always a major struggle. The Catholic High School League baseball and softball playoffs, the championships are this week. I believe the softball is at Regina on Wednesday night, and then the baseball playoffs are at the old Tiger Stadium site, the PAL. Yes, which is, name of the stadium is completely flowing in my mind right now for some stupid reason. But the CHL playoffs are Wednesday for softball, Thursday for baseball, weather permitting. But yeah, busy week for everybody, sounds like.
Yeah. So you want to, again, thank you guys, everybody, for listening. Next week, Labor Day weekend, we're going to do an episode. Not sure what day it's going to come out. Probably do Saturdays. We'll be busy with that. But send in your suggestions. What are we going to have the UFP team try to go through? What are
like us. Follow us.
Please like us. Follow us. Do that.
To your friends.
Do it now. Do it live.
We got 100 followers now on Facebook. We need to get this up. We need to get our YouTube up. We need to get everyone else so we can start doing some things. But anybody need boating supplies, call Michael. Make sure you got all your people there. Jimmy, you need lumber supplies. Me, you need education supplies. We gotta make sure.
One more plug for Bobby. Ward's detailing. He's got a couple spots maybe open this week, if need be, if you need your boat detailed or vehicle. But especially if you need your boat detailed before the Memorial Day weekend, hit Bobby up. Ward's Marine Detailing is also Robert Ward. And give him a call.
He does elite work.
He does
Everybody,
elite work.
Thank you guys so much for being a part of everything. We appreciate it. And see you next week.
See ya.
Have a good Monday.